morning. My name is David Greenberg. I'd also like to thank the 100 Black Men of Metropolitan St. Louis for honoring me. Education is the most vital thing in the world. It is necessary to do well and be successful. When one learns, growing up is extremely important because it will be used to obtain progress in the future. Sadly, it is harder for some to take advantage of getting a good education because of some flaws in the current system. Our system needs to be modified so people get the recognition, encouragement, and involvement necessary to be successful. Education has room for improvement in St. Louis, which needs to be done by getting the community together and by giving encouragement to students. An NYU psychology professor, Joshua Erickson, conducted research and presented findings that when students are told negative or discouraging things, they perform worse, and when students are told positive or encouraging things, they perform better. He stated, "Mindset matters." Currently in St. Louis, negative stereotypes continue to be directed towards black students, causing black students to lose motivation. For example, a meeting discussing drugs in schools, a school resource officer, Officer Oliver Helbig of the St. Louis County Police Department, showed a picture of several sized bags of marijuana and stated this bag goes for about $5 in St. Louis City and can be sold in the school in West County for about $20. And to a person with little money, this can be a great deal. He continued this presentation and gave the implication that all black students in the school are poor people from the city who feel they must sell drugs in the county schools for money. Ironically, this statement doesn't hold true because later in the meeting, a district administrator corrected his statement, stating the city students are not the source of the problem. The type of statement the officer made is an example of the numerous negative messages which cause people to discriminate against black students and lower black students' self-esteem. Exactly what Erickson proved in his study. This current event is exactly what should not be happening because it forces some students to work against the community and have negative ties with the community. To get positive change, we need to get St. Louis community to come together. We need a collaborative effort with students, parents, teachers, administrators, citizens, businesses, the media, and other schools. One thing that can happen is for schools in the St. Louis area to participate in school swaps. This would have students from one school go to another and see what that school does. Associate Principal and participant of Principals Academy, Renee Trottier, explains schools operate in their own box, and they need to open up to work together to see what good comes out of each school. Another way to accomplish this would be for schools to host community-wide open discussions to tackle issues that are in the community and the school. Both of these would develop a good relationship with the students, schools, and St. Louis community and give students positive feelings about what they do and their potential. Another alteration to the current school system is to give students a sense of belonging and purpose in what they do. Without this, students will simply go out and do other things. This will be seen in the attitude towards schools, which will then lead one to think education is not cool. Recently, I got the chance to take place in a school swap with Lafayette and Beaumont High School. The Department of Elementary and Secondary Education shows as of 2009, Beaumont's composition was 99.3% black, 0.6% white, 0.1% Asian. Lafayette's was 13.4% black, 81.4% white, 3.4% Asian, 1.5% Hispanic, and 0.2% Indian. Thus, one can clearly see Lafayette caters to a predominantly white student population, while Beaumont serves a predominantly black student population. One major difference between the two schools is the level that Beaumont allows their students to get involved in the school. For example, Beaumont does not have a regulation basketball court, so they cannot have home games, whereas Lafayette invests a lot in having home games and school spirit. A school which caters to white students gets funding and the ability to positively get their students involved, giving them purpose in what they do, versus a school that caters to black students, which does not get those opportunities. Thus, unequal support causes the community to drop the ball, creating a negative feeling towards education in young black men's culture. There are also a lot of stereotypes about violence and other issues in Beaumont, and the way students are welcomed and treated is much different than Lafayette. This is not to say Beaumont is a bad school. There is a lot of good, but there are a lot of ways that their majority black student body is not felt as welcomed or wanted, leading to black students to gain an attitude that questions whether or not it is worth their time. This leads to another statistical difference, the dropout rates. Beaumont carries a 46.3% dropout rate, while Lafayette carries a 0.5%. This is one example that is representative of the culture issue. Education is not cool. The system is failing black students. Barack Obama said in his back-to-school event, "If you get in trouble, that doesn't mean you're a troublemaker. It means you need to try harder to behave. If you get a bad grade, that does not mean you're stupid. It just means that you need to spend more time studying." This statement serves as a model for what should be told to black men who feel it is not cool to get an education because it gives encouragement and understanding that it is not pompous while still being serious in addressing the main issue. It is not cool to not be trusted. It is not cool not to be recognized for what you do well. Therefore, it makes the system of education not cool. And we all need to change that because education needs to be something viewed as cool. Education is much too important to not try and evaluate and rectify the issues. Simply involving and encouraging students in positive ways can make such a big difference in getting such improvements. One needs to ponder, what would the world be like if today's education involves more than just books, but how to make people reach their full potential. Thank you.
All right, let's give a big round of